Alright guys, it's now Monday early afternoon. Just getting out now, taking a walk by the riverside before the rain inevitably sets in, which it should do pretty soon, I'm assuming. Everything went well this weekend. Friday classes were good. I really dig my Sunday class also. You get 4 hours with the same students, and I really like that because it gives you a chance to build rapport with them. They kind of get to know your teaching style. And the first week I did that, I only had 3 students, but this week that increased to 10. So yay, more money for me. I like it. Something, laying some wires here for something. I don't know what. Yeah, somebody was asking me about apartments. Like I said, I had been thinking about moving into an apartment that was only $100, about half of what I'm paying now. But somebody asked about, what if you could afford more? What if you wanted to pay more? And as in most cases, if you spend more money on something, you're going to get more amenities. You're going to get nicer things. You're going to get bigger spaces and all that good stuff. So yeah, for like $250 or $300, you can get a really, really nice apartment. Like really nice. 300 and up usually comes with a pool. Most places would have a pool. A lot of them have their own gyms if you're into working out. Serviced, which means anywhere from 1 to twice a week, depending on their policy, somebody will come up and clean your room for you, and that's all included in the rent. You will still have to pay your own electricity, your own water. But the more you spend, the more things you are going to get. And seriously, for $500 and up around here, you can get, like I said, you can get a veritable mansion. You can get a huge, really nice place, a villa. It will have all the amenities you can want. And it will be very nice. A lot of people come here and they will share a space, a big house like that with 3 or 4 other people. So of course it only costs them a fraction of that per person, which is always a good idea. I'm not really one to have a lot of roommates. When I was back in the States, I had a roommate. He was cool. We got along great. We had no problems at all. We split everything down the middle. We both had the same hobbies and interests, so that was good. But for the most part, I wouldn't want to live in a house with 3 or 4 other people that I didn't really know that well. Things like that. But for some people it works. There is a house down by me, right down the road. It's been for rent for a long time. It's huge. When I first walked by it, I thought it was an apartment building because it's really, really big. I'm guessing, although I can't verify, but I'm guessing there's 3 or 4 bedrooms in there, probably a couple bathrooms. There's a balcony on the upper floors, and I'm pretty sure each one of those has a living room. And that, from what I found out, is only going for $800 a month, negotiable. So there's a chance you could get it for less. That's actually a really, really good deal for everything you're getting if you're into the if you like the big spaces, the nice fancy spots and all that. none of that really interests me, because every time I had moved to a place that was bigger than my previous one, I just found myself spending money on things to try to fill it up. I don't really need to spend money on things just to make my apartment or my house look full. But that's just me. I prefer not to have a lot of things that I don't use, or that I'll only use once or twice and maybe never use again. But yeah, your options are basically, they're almost unlimited here, depending on your budget, depending on how much you want to spend. And I know there will be people who say things like, well, you're living a bare minimum lifestyle, you're barely existing because you only spend so much money a month. And I don't think that's true. I think to each his or her own. People want to come here, they have the money, they want to rent a big, huge $800 a month house. They want to spend, $300 or $400 eating Western food every single meal. Run their aircon whenever they get a little warm. Couple $100 electric bill every month. They want to do that, that's fine. They have the money to do it, and that's what makes them happy. Then more power to them. But me, I said it before and I'll say it again, my lifestyle is one that I enjoy. I don't lack for anything that I need. I eat when I'm hungry. My rent is paid. My bills are low. And everything is good. I have a guy who wants to join one of my English classes in the morning, but I'm really trying to get 5 people. I got to work on that this week, because he just texted me and said, when are you going to start? Because I told him I was waiting to get a full class. So I'll get working on that this week. Hopefully by next week we can get that going. There's not really much else going on. I just thought I'd give you this update real quick. It's just been really chilled. Try to get out and walk whenever I can, but sometimes it's at night, so I don't record because this camera is not good at night. I'm using my phone, so not the best phone. I got it on Amazon before I left. It's a blue phone, BLU. Kind of an off-brand, but it was unlocked, it was cheap, and it has all the functions of an Android phone, so it has served me well. When my computer broke, I didn't know what I was going to do, because I was recording everything on my GoPro, but without my computer I didn't have a way to edit it. So then I just picked up my phone, found the Power Director app, and that works just as good. No issues. So yeah, school, walking around, still enjoying it here. I've said this before and I will say it again, and I will probably continue to say it. I love this country. I love Siem Reap. And as long as they don't kick me out, I do not want to leave. Of course, like I said, that's not always a choice we can make for ourselves. Circumstances, things happen. A lot of times governments happen. Governments get into little pissing contests with each other, the heads of government. And that will affect different people inside the countries that are doing the arguing. Oh yeah, I did get my visa back. The extension came back on time. There were no issues. So I didn't need any extra paperwork. Didn't have to pay any extra money. They said it'd be back in a week. It was actually a week and 2 days. But of course, when they say a week, they're talking about business days. They usually don't count the weekends on that. So taking that into consideration, they were right on time. The weird thing was we used a little place right next door to where I get my coffee every day. So they see me in Shanghai walking by all the time. And she was with me when I went in to drop off my passport initially to request my extension. And I had went in the day before. I went in on Thursday and asked, and the lady said, "Oh, I'm very sorry, very sorry. It will be here tomorrow. It will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow night between 4 and 8, which is when they close." And I was like, "Well, I got to work tomorrow. I'll be working, I work Friday nights from 5 to 8, and I leave at 4, so I can walk there and get to my school by 4:30. So I just said, just no problem. I'll pick it up Saturday or Monday or something. So we needed something from the store. Sang said she would go. We gave her some money, which was about 7 o'clock at night. And when she came back, she had my passport, which is normally not the way they do things. They're only supposed to give it to the person it is issued to. But like I said, we use this place that sees us every day, so they just called her over and said, hey, here it is. It came in today. It came in today. So I got that back. I checked it real quick to make sure everything was good, and yep, it's all complete. So I'm good now. But there's really not much else going on. Now, I don't want to sit here and bore you by telling you how little I have to do right now, so I won't do that. But weather permitting, we'll be going out a little bit later. And I'll talk to you guys then. Okay guys, it's Wednesday afternoon. I have good news, very, very good news. The most exciting news I've ever had to give you since my time in Cambodia. However, my phone is on 4% battery. And there are some people I must talk to out of courtesy and consideration before I give it to the rest of the world. So the good news is going to have to wait until my next video, which will be up in 2 days. I'll do it within 2 days. Actually, make that by Saturday, because I have to wait and talk to somebody this Friday first. So yeah, by Saturday, after all the people that need to know will have then known, I will then give it to you. But if you've ever watched the American sitcom Seinfeld, you will probably remember the character of George Costanza, Jerry Shark's bald, heavy-set friend. And when he would get excited, he would bust in to Jerry's apartment and say, "I'm busting here, Jerry, I'm busting. I gotta tell somebody I'm busting." And that's the way I feel on the inside. I'm a little less excitable than he is. But that is how I feel. Very, very good news. And I will tell you all about it in my next video. I figured that'd be a good way to end this one since I haven't uploaded for a week. I just realized that. That was unintentional, just as I said in the last clip, nothing much going on. And I didn't want to bore you with scenes of me walking around making observations that you could see for yourself. Like, ooh, look at that pretty tree. You could see that for yourself. No narration needed. Anyway, I'll end this one now and leave you in suspense. Talk to you guys in the next one. It's a good one, I promise.